I was going through my YouTube's history of videos that I watched years ago, and one of them was from Sargon of Akkad, in which he said that the mainstream media doesn't really hold any power, that it's like the emperor without clothes. All it is required is for people to call out the fact that the mainstream media has no clothes, and I suppose all of a sudden $1 billion industries like the CNN and the MSNBCs and the Fox Newses, they're just going to stop airing, and they're going to appear embarrassed and ashamed, as they're going to just start losing ratings as people tune in for different alternative news sources. I guess YouTubers. I mean, that's what the Emperor's New Clothes story teaches us, right? Let's get into that story a little bit, because I find it to be the most fascinating story ever written, hands down. The reason for this is that it has three different interpretations. When you read the story as a child, you get one sort of interpretation. When you read the story as an adult, you get Sargon's interpretation, I suppose. And only the true intellectual, only the enlightened one who lives through cynicism, who lives through Eastern Europe, who understands what mankind is capable of, you are going to get the enlightened V's interpretation. So let's start with the actual story, and how does a child interpret it? Well, you get a couple of con artists that go to the emperor's court and suggest that they have the ability of creating the most beautiful clothes that the world has ever laid eyes on. It's just that there's a catch. People who are incompetent or stupid cannot see the clothes. So the emperor agrees to this, and they start creating the clothes. Various people from the emperor's retinue visit the hacks as they're creating it. None of them can see the clothes, but all of them pretend that they do, because they don't want to be accused of being incompetent or stupid. Eventually, the emperor himself, who doesn't see the clothes, he pretends that he does see them and actually decides to wear them. Now, he doesn't wear anything. Obviously, he is naked. And as he is walking in a crowd, a young kid just calls it out. And he says, okay, well, the emperor is naked. And everyone goes, yak, yak, yak. Funny moment. Emperor gets embarrassed. The magic has been revealed. There are no clothes. Everyone knows it now. So I suppose that as a child, you would probably picture yourself as being that kid from the crowd. Like you would be the one that would call it out when no one else dared to. Everyone is a liar, like everyone was playing a part. And the magic of the play can be disrupted just by calling out the truth. In a world where everyone says that 2 plus 2 equals 5, if you actually go there and you show them, it's like, look, I got 2 sticks, another 2 sticks, it makes 4. All of a sudden, the magic is destroyed. The people that were pushing for the falsehood are being exposed. And, you know, like that's pretty much like the vibe that you get when you read the story as a child. Now, when you read the story as an adult, when you read the story like Sargon of Akkad, you gain a little bit more understanding. You gain a bit more wisdom in the masses. And you understand that labels have power. If you're an average Joe and you're labeled as incompetent or stupid, then other people are less likely to hire you, because who is going to want to hire a stupid or incompetent person? You risk ostracization, because again, who wants to be associated with an incompetent or a stupid person? So now you understand why people aren't calling it out. It's not that it's like an insult, like when you're a kid at kindergarten, someone calls you stupid. It's far more than that. It's the public honor, the public reputation that a person has in its community. Risking to gain the label of being incompetent risks ostracizing you and makes it difficult for you to put food on the table. So that's why people aren't really calling it out, because at the end of the day, it's irrelevant if the emperor has or doesn't have clothes on. It's not going to change your lifestyle at all. And as such, people would just rather be quiet. But someone that has nothing to lose, someone that is a child, and, you know, like children are allowed to be stupid or incompetent, gets to call it out. And I guess it's like that spark, is that the moment the child calls it out, everyone else starts laughing, because, you know, it's difficult to tell if they're laughing because the emperor is naked or because the child is stupid or incompetent. So that's pretty much like the understanding that the story has when you're an adult. You know that you probably wouldn't be that child calling it out because you have a lot to lose. And furthermore, because no one is laughing, you start doubting yourself. Like, what if you actually are stupid and incompetent? I mean, no one else is pointing it out, which means that so many people can't possibly be wrong. And if all of the other people are seeing the clothes and they are pretending that the clothes are indeed beautiful, you not seeing them means that there's something wrong with you, not with the other people. So you start pretending that you see them as well in order not to stick out from the crowd. But again, like the moment someone just points it out, like all the magic goes away. So all you need is for people to call it out. All right. Now I'll tell you the Eastern European understanding, okay? The maximum enlightened understanding of this story. The tailors, the con artists, are the experts. They are the experts in their field of tailoring. And the experts are telling the power, the emperor, that they have a solution in order to root out incompetent people from within the emperor's retinue. And the emperor, who doesn't want to seem incompetent, doesn't want to surround himself with such people. So he agrees with the clothes just to see who gets rooted out as stupid or incompetent. And whenever someone from the emperor's retinue goes along with it and pretends that there are clothes even though he doesn't see them, it shows that in order to gravitate around power, honesty is a detriment. You do not have to be honest. You have to pretend that you agree with what the people in power say. And furthermore, you have to encourage them into their opinion. It's much like having a relationship with a woman that doesn't want your advice, just wants to reaffirm what she is saying when she's asking you a question. Like, is this dress beautiful? And you're supposed to definitely say yes. Okay, she's not asking for your advice. She doesn't want you to tell her that the dress makes her look like a cow. Okay, so that's pretty much how in this story, and I think in some cases of reality, is with power. The people gravitating around power, they are ass kissers. They do not have their own opinions. They just nod their head. And the experts are the ones that presented the emperor with what the consensus is. Okay, like these are clothes that are invisible, and anyone that doesn't see them is stupid. Now, when the emperor goes out in public, you need to understand that there is a difference of power between the emperor and the common folk. This is not like the common folk calling the drunk of the village Yuri naked. The idea that the clothes are actually beautiful and only stupid people don't get to see them is an idea that comes from authority. It comes from power. Questioning that idea means you're questioning authority. So now you understand why it takes a lot of courage for just one person to question it. But here's the thing. When you have one person questioning, so you have the child that calls it out and then some people start laughing. Do you know what the emperor does next? Like, did you read the end of the story? I'll tell you what the emperor does next. The emperor smiles and keeps walking, wagging his magnificent shaft-like scepter around, not giving a single care in the world. Do you know why? Because he is the damn emperor, that's why. Because the rules do not apply to him. What are the rules? Go on the street while you're fully dressed. Do not walk naked on the street because it's an affront. All right? It doesn't matter. He's the emperor. He can walk however he likes. Clothes or no clothes, calling him out or not calling him out, doesn't change the fact that he is the emperor. And now that people know that the emperor can walk naked on the streets and they can't do anything but laugh at it, like they're not getting violent at it. They're not going to question the authority. They're not going to be like, hey, I can't walk naked on the street. Why can you? They can't do that. You know why? Because he's the emperor. He can walk however he goddamn pleases. And in fact, he can even punish the people laughing at him. I bet like the sequel of this story is to round up all the people that were laughing and ostracize them from society. Make sure that they're never employed again, because you know what? They are the stupid people. Yeah, they are the ignorant masses. They did not have the wisdom to see the beautiful clothes that the emperor was wearing. And that is how the actual story should be interpreted. It doesn't mean that just because someone points out the truth, all of a sudden everyone will go, e-gasp. We were so wrong. Because now it's also their reputation at stake. Okay? You have two groups of people. One group of people that were admiring the clothes and they were just in awe about how beautiful they are, and another group of people that laughed at it and called it out. Do you honestly think that either one of these groups are willing to stake their reputation and admit, you know what? I didn't see any clothes, but I pretended to just because I didn't want to get ostracized. Like, no, that person would now be untrustworthy. The correct path of action for these people is to keep pretending into their mass delusions so they don't get ostracized. And in order to avoid getting ostracized, they have to ostracize the other people which were laughing to begin with. So now it's a conflict between two groups of people, which was created by the tailors, the con artists. Okay? Like, that's how the real world functions, baby. That's how the real world is. And anyone that pretends it's not is delusional. Like, you're lying to yourself. You're saying that the clothes are beautiful. Okay? It's not the emperor's new clothes, it's the world's new clothes. That's it, the culture's new clothes. That's how it should be branded. Calling it out and saying that there are no new clothes doesn't change anything. Do you know what changes things? Socialism. Let the proletariat rise up, depose the emperor, and replace him with a council of the people. Bet you didn't expect that, huh? You didn't expect. I took you by surprise, didn't I? See, the Eastern European mindset. I'm just kidding, by the way. No, but all in all, like, I definitely think this is the correct way of interpreting the story. If you actually read it all the way down, you see that the emperor smiles when he's being called out. He doesn't care. Like, why should he care? He's the emperor. Let me know what you think. I'll see you guys in the comment section. Oh, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps with the algorithm. And if you want to help the channel, even small donations help out. There's a link into the pinned comment section. Just scroll down a little bit, and it will take you to my Subscribe Star page. Thank you for watching.